Morning, friends. A little windy here today. Hope you guys can hear me. Going for my daily morning walk. It's about 8 to 8:30, something like that. I'm in the middle of nowhere walking. We're pretty far from the homestead. Come here, Daisy. Look at the size of that canine print. I reckon we got ourselves a wolf in the neighborhood. No footprints around here from humans. This is just a random back road where nobody walks or does anything, but these are big prints. Different when you're tracking in snow prints. If they're not fresh, they spread out right away and you look like you have a gigantic creature just as they melt to get wider. Mud prints they stay put, but I just found that interesting. When we get back home, it's mowing season. It's mowing season, friends. I gotta get the mower out. We're gonna get the mower ready to rock and roll. I don't think you guys have ever seen my mower. I am blessed to have the mower I do. She's a machine. What do we have here? This is my mowing rig. She's been sitting idle all winter. She's all dusty. Let's see if this thing will start. First thing I do, those of you that live in the country know, check for vermin in places where vermin can live. Well, there's no vermin in there. Now, you guys are gonna laugh. Full-time Tin Man did not take the battery out of this, so right now Tin Man has to get this thing going. I'll pull this thing out. You guys have asked me over the years to show off my mowing rig because I got a lot of grass here. Let's see if this thing will fire up and pull it out. If not, I'll have to boost it. And yes, the birds like to poop all over my fine mowing rig, but I guess this is their shop too. They live here. Okay, friends, now here's the funny thing. Every year, and I mean, I've had this thing for years, every year I forget to take the battery out. You can hear the lift pump going. I will glow plug this. I think this thing's gonna need glow plugs this year. We'll have to do that. Okay. Oh, I love this thing. Well, let's pull her out. So here we go. I've been asked hundreds and hundreds of times over the last couple of years, what do you mow with? You got a lot of grass there, I notice. Now this is something I'm interested in. We're what people call homesteaders, I guess. I don't know. This is just how we live out here. Country, big yards, machinery, tractors. It's just the way it is out here. But my wife and I, our first house was in the city. I started in the country and then grew up in the city, and I always wanted to move back. So part of living out here, and I'm just going to tell you guys what I think. Part of living out in the country, if you want to buy property, at least here, people ask me all the time, they're like, oh, I'm looking at property, what do you think? Should I do it? If you're ready and you're the kind of person that gets up early and you like to putter in your yard, for sure, move to the country. But one thing I'm going to tell you guys out there, you younger folks, you people that live on the farm or on land and have grown up, you guys know this already, but a lot of people are interested in moving out of the city. They want peace and quiet. If you're going to buy a country property, make sure you have the money put aside or the mechanical ability to get equipment, lots of equipment. Mowers, tillers, weed whackers, chainsaws. If you get snow, something to deal with the snow, like a skid steer, trailers, water tanks, trucks, lots of tools, a place to park everything, a place to work on things. It was a huge undertaking, friends. We've been out here, this is our 10th year on this property, and a lot of hard work and trading up and cruising auctions, a lot of farm auctions here, friends, and getting old equipment and working on it and making it good again. So let's talk about this mower and where I came from and how I got to this piece of equipment. Okay, friends, so what we have here is a Kubota F3060. Under the hood is a 4-cylinder 30 horsepower diesel. Now friends, I mow all this, the front of the tree line. That's about a half acre there, far side of the pond. There's a path that goes all the way through and around I mow, and then this whole backyard, friends. I used an app. It's about 7 acres, give or take. I started with something like this. This is a 42 inch. My first mower here was a 38 inch, and it was a John Deere, and I bought it. There was an auction on this property. The lady that owned this was in her 80s, and I guess she had a stroke, and they auctioned everything on this property. So I came to the auction after I bought the property and bought a lot of the stuff that we needed for this yard and just kept it here. But I mowed the whole front, about 3.5 acres, once to twice a week with something like this. Okay, this is a 6-speed 42 inch Craftsman. You can start off with something like this, and I mowed with a small mower like this for, oh geez, couple years, first 2 years. But here's the thing, it was taking me to mow all this and the front tree line and that, it was taking me like 8-10 hours a week to mow everything. This machine has paid for itself in fuel economy. Here, see that? Right there and there. There we go. 1, 2. Okay. That's about how much fuel I use in a season. I will mow twice a week for the next 6 weeks probably, and then I'll mow once a week to late August, early September, and then maybe once or twice. I'll put about 100 hours on this thing in a season, and which is a lot of mowing when you think about it. 100 hours of runtime, and I don't idle this thing. And I'll only burn, I'll burn 2 jerry cans there, and I'll fill it up in the fall, and I'll be good to go. Okay, again, Kubota, Japanese technology. I sure like my Japanese vehicles. They're well thought out, reliable. Let's see what we got here. Oil's good. I'm gonna do an oil change on this. Fluid's good. These Kubotas are just bomb-proof, absolutely bomb-proof. That's how easy it is. We already checked the dipstick for the rear fluid. That's good. I'm gonna pull out the air filter and blow it off with a hose. Remember that, friends, you can buy these used. I'm sure your state or municipality uses these. They do here. I replace these pretty frequently. That's what kills a lawnmower, friends, is the dust. Okay, this has a double filter. That's an upgrade on these, I hear, or I read. Okay. But you can buy these at auctions, and this one has 2,823 hours as of today. And I'll keep running it, and you know what? When this thing dies, I'll buy another one of these in a heartbeat. A used one with hours on it. Just keep going. Or I'd buy a John Deere. John Deere makes a nice front deck like this. I grease these every time, no matter what. The grease comes out of it as fast as I put it in, but whatever. Having some grease is better than none. I'm gonna grease this thing, we'll fill it up with fluid, and let's fire this thing back up and run it. Okay friends, this is about a half-acre field. We'll test her out on this. Let's see how long it takes to mow half-acre with one of these things. This is the first mow of the season. I'll sharpen the blades probably after a mow or two. I usually don't do them at the beginning because this is the time of the year where I'm gonna hit stuff. How long did that take, friends? 10 minutes? There you go. That's a good sized field. I don't know how long it would be, but that used to take me a couple hours with a small mower. You think I'm losing shingles off this Quonset? I gotta get a roof on this thing, friends, sooner than later. It's on my to-do list. But it's got those interlocking woven shingles from back in the day, original. It's getting there. There's a few exposed spots now, but we'll figure that out. Always something to do. Anyhow, friends, John Deere Kubota F3060 diesel. There's the counterweight, 4-wheel drive, 30 horsepower, 60-inch deck, rear discharge. You guys can see I haven't sharpened or nothing. She stripes pretty nicely and leaves a nice finish. You can float the deck, so if it's bumpy, I usually float the deck. And look at this pond, friends. I've never seen this pond this full. You see the reeds there? Normally the pond is on the far side of the reeds. It's I didn't get too close because I would hate to put this here mower in here. I do have the capabilities to pull it out, but I don't want to play that kind of game. So, well, it looks like a skunk's been walking through here. Hopefully my water's not dry this year. I lost the hose. My float capsized a couple years ago, and I can't find it anymore. It's in there somewhere. I know how to get it though. You put compressed air in the line, and when the line fills full of air, it folds to the top, and then you gotta lasso it. We might do that. But anyhow, friends, I cut all this all around this pond, the front, both sides. That's like 1,500 feet there, the ditch line there. All this. Again, friends, I got a lot of cleanup to do. All these broken branches from this winter, I got to deal with that. That bothers me. That broke off last fall. I think it's detached now finally, but this is where the chainsaws come in, and just the equipment in general. I started getting into chainsaws because see that? There's a broken branch there. I'm constantly sawing here and just cutting and trimming and whew, wow, that's wet there, friends. I'm just constantly doing work here. The pine beetle's taking out those two. We got to take those out. So you guys have been asking me, so that's my mowing rig. You guys can get something like that, even if it's older. I would rather buy an older commercial mower than a new box store mower. Box store mowers are expensive, friends. Like $5,000 you can spend on a mower. You can buy one of those for $5,000 in an auction. I've had that for 6 years, 700 hours. I've put 2 hoses on it and fluids and a filter. That's it. One hose, friends. Fluids and a filter. It always starts. It's had the same battery for 6 years. I never took the battery out. It just starts and runs. Typical Kubota. I'm getting close to needing tires, but this thing's a billy goat. I'll do a video of me mowing the ditch. It's pretty sketchy. It's on quite the angle, but I should probably paint this deck. The only thing I don't like about this model, the newer ones, the deck folds up for servicing and parking. This deck doesn't fold up, so how I do it, I put ramps backwards and I back this thing onto the ramps, block it, e-brake it, and then I let that down on a couple of jack stands because it's so heavy, and then I take the blades off to sharpen them. We'll do that in another video. Anyhow, friends, that's what I'm doing today. I wanted to get the mower out. It's like I never parked it. It's like I've been mowing every day. So, but again, when you have that capability in a mower and you can just rip through grass, it's not a big deal mowing. When I used to mow 8, 10, 12, 14 hours a week, every week, it just, after the first time I mowed this property, it was a week before possession, and I was renovating the house. This place was in disrepair. It still is in spots, but whatever, you can't Takes time, right, friends? I'm only 40, so I got lots of time to continue working on this property. But I remember this place was all overgrown, and I asked if I could go and mow. So I had my mower here that I bought at the auction. I remember the first time I mowed this property, and it was like I was in Zen. I was just put a little podcast on and just started mowing, and I really enjoy mowing, friends. But as the years went on, I was like, man, I'm constantly mowing. There's got to be a better way. Well, that's the better way for me. Zero turns are good. I find they're a little bumpy for my back. Kubota makes some pretty serious zero turns. But thing I like about this thing in a larger property, now if you have a small yard, this thing's just silly. I mowed my buddy's yard in town. He's got like a half-acre town lot, which is a pretty big size lot. Oh my god. It was pretty funny. I was backing up and going forward and backing up. But the thing that's nice about these is they're very nimble. In a full circle, you only leave like a 24-inch circle, so they're super nimble. If you're mowing up to obstructions like poles and that, you could just pull right up to it in between these two rollers and the tire, and it'll cut like within an inch of it. So can you tell I like my mower, friends? This is like the ported chainsaw of the mower world. Just a beast. I am blessed to have this. I remember the day I got this thing, I was just like, wow. But it's good. Life's good, friends. For you young fellers out there, work hard, and you can have anything you want. You can do anything you want in this life. You just got to work for it. And you know, when you work hard for things and you finally get to own them, it's like, it's way more special. I love this mower. I remember looking at my neighbors running these mowers going, oh, if I could only. Well, I figured out a way. Buy an old one at an auction. This thing's like 20 years old, but it doesn't matter to me. It's a tool for doing work. Anyhow, friends, we're going to do the front yard now. I'm going to hop on, move some lawn furniture in our fire pit, and get the front lawn mowed. Thanks for hanging out. We'll be back into the saw content tomorrow. I've got a package sitting at the post office I'm going to go get. And I want to get the 038 Magnum running. We got to build a pipe for that. While I'm building that pipe, I'm going to finish Buchan's pipe for his Super Pro 70. The 850's coming back, so that's cool. I hope I can save that cylinder. If I can, I think I may have a piston. I gotta look. What else is going on? And then we're gonna jump into that Farmer Tech. We'll get that built stock. I'll do it video by video. You guys enjoy that. We'll run that. We got the 394. We got a 181 ready to rock and roll. Content's flowing, friends. I'm going every day, going hard, making lots of content, and this is my job now, I guess, until I go back to work. So it's been a strange 5 weeks that I've been at home, but I feel relaxed. I'm getting lots of work done at home, and I'm taking care of my wife, that's the most important thing. I feel good about it. No regrets about this decision to stay home. It was 100% the right thing to do, and the world will provide. Work's not everything. It took me a long time to learn that. Anyhow, friends, thanks for watching. Take her easy. Later.